Hello and welcome to this special edition of ECMECC Tech Tidbits. It is near Halloween and this is Tech Trick or Treat. I am Jeremy Mikla. I am the ECMECC Instructional Tech Specialist here. If you click on my head right here, the Blue Oyster Cult. I hope you have your cowbells ready. You can enjoy that song even more on your own. Check out the resources that will be on the Tech Tidbit page. Each year, the great pumpkin rises out of the pumpkin patch that he thinks is the most sincere. We all remember those words from Charlie Brown's It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and we're going to turn those tricks into treats later on as we begin here with 10, yep, that's right, count them, 10 different tech tricks that might make your job a little bit easier, maybe more efficient, or maybe even slightly just a little bit more fun. Tech tip number 1, here we go. If you accidentally close a tab, and how many of you do this? I do this all the time. And you're like, oh man, what do I got to do to get that back? It's pretty simple, actually. If you accidentally do that and you're on a Mac, you press the Shift, the Command, and the T buttons, and it will reopen the last tab that you had. If you're on a Chromebook or a PC, Control Shift T is the answer for you. Let's try that out. So here I am, I'm in my Chrome, and I press Shift Command T because I'm on a Mac, and you'll see it opens up the last tab that I was using. So pretty slick there. That's tech tip number 1. Tech tip number 2 is a do-it-yourself cable holder. Yeah, take one of those Lego minifigures that you have lying around. Maybe if you're like me, you've walked through a kid's room and you've accidentally stepped on them and you shout out in pain how much those Legos hurt your foot. Use them for constructive good. They can function as an effective cable holder for your iOS charging cables. Place a Lego brick on your desk, then attach the minifigure to it, and you can run the cord through its hands. What a wonderful idea. You can, if you are in Princeton, those lucky people of Princeton, you can maybe try to contact your local Lego lady and see if she has any that she can round up and get to you. Everyone else, you'll have to steal from your kids. Just the way it goes. If they're not around, it's easy to take from them. So I hear. Tech tip number 3. How about grouping your tabs that are similar in Google Chrome? This is pretty slick. Thanks, Mark Johnson, for pointing that out as an effective trick for people to learn. If you are in Chrome and you right-click, or if you're on a Mac, maybe you use Control-click on a tab, you can select Add Tab to New Group, assign the group a name and a color. You can also then go to another tab that you want grouped with it and choose to right-click on that tab as well and add a new tab to the group. You can choose to ungroup closed tabs and even open all of the new tabs in that group in a new window. You can, even if you close out of a whole group, still use Shift Control T to reopen the whole group, like all 3 or 4 of them, however many are in that group. You can also go back to a saved group if you've closed out of it by clicking on the 3 dots in the top right corner of Chrome, hovering over History, and choosing the group. So let's check out how to do that. I will choose a tab, right-click or Control-click on it, choose Add Tab to New Group, and in doing so, I'll create a name for that group, and I'll call it Tech Tricks, and now you can see that that group has been created. So let's say I want to add another tab to it. I choose Add Tab to Group and select Tech Tricks. Maybe one more here. Same thing, Tech Tricks. And these three tabs have all been grouped together. So if I'm working on them and need to come back to them, I know that they're all arranged there. Additionally, you can do some other things here. If I can control click again, you see that I can ungroup them, and I can even close the whole group all at once or move them to a brand new Chrome window. And so let's say I choose this closed group and it shuts them out. I could go Shift Command T and it brings all of those ones back. To find the history if you've closed out of them, if you go up to the three dots in the top right and hover over history, you can go back and you can find them in the recently closed item. Tech tip number 4. Hey, how about this? I'm getting ready to go back and watch some movies in the movie theater again. But as inevitably happens, I have to go to the bathroom at some point, but I don't want to miss the movie. So I don't want to miss something important in the movie, I should say. So what do? Well, you download the RunP app to your iOS, Android, or Windows device, and it will tell you the best time to go to the bathroom during the movie so that you don't miss any of those amazing plot twists that will totally, leave you lost when you get back to your seat. You find a movie that maybe you are wanting to see. I'm kind of interested in the last Duel one, and you use your P-coins that you get by watching different ads, and it will tell you there are 4 times here during that film that are good times to go to the bathroom. You can even set a timer for it too if you explore how to do that in the app. So like this one here, for example, at 49 minutes and 50 seconds into the movie, if you're quick and can pee in 3 minutes and 40 seconds and get back to your seat, you're not going to miss any major plot twists from that particular movie. How about a little joke here thrown in because we have to have these little treats. What do you get when you drop a pumpkin? Guess what? I'm not going to give you the answer. If you really want to see the answer, you'll go to the resources page for the Tech Tidbits on the ECMECC website, and you will see the slides for this presentation there, or you can Google it. I bet you'd find it that way too. Or if you are Martin Garber in Malacca, you probably know the answer already. Tech tip number 5. How about when you're on YouTube and you're watching your YouTube videos, but your mouse isn't anywhere nearby to get to the controls to pause it, to mute it, to fast forward, to rewind in case you miss something, or to control the volume. You can use these keyboard shortcuts here in the YouTube video while it is playing, and it will do those different things for you. Here is our video here. As we know, it's paused. So what's the one to unpause? I hit the K button. Oops. If I hit the J button or the L button, you can see that it rewinds or fast forwards when I do that. If you hit the M button, like I just did, you can see that it mutes it, and I can press M again to get it to come back and play again. Oh, it's kind of loud, so I'm going to turn that volume down with the down arrow. Ooh, a little bit louder here. It's good parts coming. You can use the up arrow. Tech tip number 6. Insert smart chips into a Google Doc. This is really neat here, and I've kind of started using some of this. And again, thanks Mark for the idea of including it into this. What is a smart chip? Well, a smart chip is an insert into a Google Doc that when you open it, it suggests potential people, potential files, or even maybe a date or a calendar event that you might want to make readily accessible for people in that particular document. And you do that by opening the Google Doc, putting in the @ symbol, then starting to type letters to find a person's name or a file, or even to choose that date or calendar event. So I'm going to show you here on this next slide how we can do that. So here I have this Google Doc, and I go to this spot here on the doc, type in that @ symbol, and you can see it already starts to pop in different things here for me, recent files that I've used, or perhaps even different people that I've been in touch with, myself mostly. What does that have to say here? Some split personalities here. But maybe I want to include Mark Johnson here. I can add his name right in there. Maybe I want to use a file, maybe this presentation here, and I can choose that. Or maybe I want to even take an event from my calendar. I have coming up a tech integration meeting, and all of those different things are linked right in here. So I've got the contact here for Mark. As you can see, it opens up. I can see here the preview of the presentation here that I want linked in that document, or maybe even the information to a meeting that I have coming up later on. If you've not checked out Wonderopolis, you really should. What a great site to go to. They run different curiosity things every day, or their wonders of the day. And here is one of my favorites that I've seen this month, dealing with why do we say trick or treat. And again, check back to the resources page if you would like to see a little bit more about that. Let's move on to our tech trick number 7. How about another kind of DIY thing here? Use your empty toilet paper rolls to create a storage spot for all of those cords and cables that you have that turn into an unbearable mess of tangled webs and weaves. And you can see here how you organize them inside these empty toilet paper rolls, and it can be a pretty handy thing to store some of these cables so that you don't need to untangle them when it's time for you to use them again. This is tech trick number 8. It is using a spotlight search as a calculator, so you never have to use your phone, or does anybody still use a pocket calculator? Maybe some math people, I don't know. You'll never have to use that again if you are in front of your computer. You can simply use the command plus the spacebar button to open up the spotlight search on your Mac. You type in 20 plus 20, you get 40. Pretty handy calculator that is just right there in front of you. If you are not on a Mac, maybe a Chromebook, you can open up a Google search window and type into the search box the same equation, and Google, of course, will give you what that answer is. So it is almost Halloween. What are the 10 best Halloween movies of all time? I remember seeing Scream in the theaters. It really kind of freaked me out, that phone scene at the beginning. Halloween Town, unfamiliar with. The Exorcist, pretty classic one. It actually came out 2 years before I was born, so I've not really had a chance to see that one. Of course, I know all about it, though. Blair Witch Project, again, another freaky one that I saw in the movie theater. I remember reading the book back in high school, but I've never seen the movie. The Witches, I don't know. Who has not seen It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown? It's probably on TV every year anywhere. The Nightmare Before Christmas, I remember being in high school and going to see. Of course, there's Halloween, the actual classic movie Halloween, and I do remember seeing that, but that would have been like on a VHS tape rented from probably like a Blockbuster or something. Whatever happened to those Blockbuster stores? Don't see too many of them around anymore. And the final one, What We Do in the Shadows. I've never even heard of that movie before. Tech trick number 9. Give your webcam a new purpose. I'm not going to demonstrate this one for you, but if you open up Photo Booth on your Mac, you can place that in front of the webcam and you can hit the red photo icon to take the picture, which will then appear into the bottom right corner of the screen, and you can drag it to the desktop, and you can of course edit it any way that you need to from there. On a Windows or a PC machine, you can open the Camera app. You can line up your document in front of that webcam and hit the white camera icon, which will snap the photo. The final trick for today is screenshots, and yes, even more screenshots. We have a Mac version and I have a Chromebook version here for you as well. To take a screenshot in your Mac using simple keystrokes, Shift Command 3 gives you a screenshot of a single window without having to adjust it at all. If you use Shift Command 4, it allows you to select an area with a target, and when you let go, it saves that screenshot to your default location, perhaps your desktop or your downloads folder. If you select Shift Command 5, it allows you to crop an area and to save that screenshot. So part of the screen is highlighted, the rest of it is grayed out, and it allows you to get in exact to where you want that screenshot spot to be, and then choose Capture to save it. But one of my favorite ones to use is Control-Shift-Command-4. It's a lot to do with your fingers and hitting the right keys at the same time here. But what it allows you to do is to save a copy of that screenshot without saving it to your desktop. Sometimes I just want to, as soon as I take a screenshot, I want to paste it into what I'm working on. And it's a great way to kind of save yourself time, and it avoids cluttering up unnecessarily your desktop if that's where you're saving them to. On a Chromebook, if that's you, Control in the Show Windows allows you to capture a full screen, and the Shift Control Show Windows allows you to capture that selected area. That takes us to the end of our tech tricks, and I did promise you a treat here for those of you who made it through to the end. Are you looking for any techie Halloween activities? Try one or more of these different ones here, and you can find the link to that on the Tech Tidbit page of the Lake ECMECC website. It looks a little bit like this, and I have 13 different ideas that perhaps you might be interested in using in your classrooms. Thank you very much, everyone, and I hope you have enjoyed these tech tricks and treats. They are all available on the Tech Tidbit page of the Lake ECMECC website. Please check that out, and you will find other great links and videos in the Tech Tidbit series. Have a happy Halloween, everyone.